this isn't scripted, as you can probably tell. So I'm just sort of... Hi guys, I don't know whether anyone's watching this. Part of me thinks it's probably just my mum, so again, hi mum! I promised one of my next videos would be talking about my weight loss surgery fears. And in a number of ways, these fears might not be what you think that they will be. Surgery itself, not even a little bit scary. I've had 3 surgeries and they were all just as invasive and just as threatening, and 2 of them were emergency surgeries. So, you know, without the prep time and all that sort of stuff, it is a little bit more frightening than something that's planned and routine. That's not to say that nothing can go wrong. It's surgery, there's always a risk, but there's a risk that I could walk out tomorrow and get hit by a car. So it's not a risk that really bothers me. I know I'm fine with the anesthetic, so it's not that part of it's not a that part of it's just not a scary thing for me. What does scare me with it is whether or not I am able to continue the weight loss that it will inspire. You know, everyone says the first few months it's easy. You're literally forced into having a liquid diet, and a small liquid diet at that. You know, I've heard the stories that your stomach's the size of a shot glass after you're finished. So it's not, you're not going to be able to force the calories in unless you're literally trying to. So first few months, I know I'm going to lose weight, but I have been on so many different diets and exercise plans where, you know, I've lost 10 kilos, plateaued, stopped it, gained all those 10 kilos, plus a few friends. So for me, my relationship with diet and exercise has always been, I'll go into it super hard, I'll be really good for months, and then it just sort of fizzles as the motivation is no longer there, as the pain comes back, as all these things that I was doing the diet for don't come to light. So that's what scares me the most, is that I'll go through this, I'll lose the weight, and then I'll put it all back on. But one thing that scares me more than that, because I know, you know, I'm pretty sure my family will start to say, hey, look what you're doing to yourself, you're putting it back on again. The thing that scares me more is that I'll go through with all of this and it won't help the pain. And ultimately, I don't care whether I'm a size 2 or a size 22. That has never bothered me. I'm not one who is driven by looks or, you know, there's things that are nice about it. It's nice to be able to walk into any shop and find something cute that fits. But it's not defining me. It doesn't define who I am as a person. One thing that does define me at the moment, though, is my pain. As much as I'd like it not to, you know, when you're in agony 2 weeks out of every 4, how can you have a normal life? How can you not be defined by that? So that's what this weight loss surgery is supposed to help with. It's supposed to help me fix that. And if it doesn't, I don't have anywhere left to turn. That scares me more than anything else in this world. I mean, almost anything else. There are things that I can think of that are scarier involving my family. But for me personally, that is the scariest thing imaginable. I would rather be dead than have to continue with constant pain. And that's the point that it's got to a lot of times before. And that's not a point that I like. It's not a place I want to be. But sometimes that's where you end up, you know? When you can say when life hands you lemons, make lemonade all you want, but if life is squeezing those lemons into your eye and it's agony to walk around pretending to be normal, it gets hard. So that's what I'm hoping that I can fix. That's what I'm fearing won't be fixed. And it's stupid that I'm crying over it, or starting to cry over it, but this is my honest journey, and I wanted to do this for me, like I said in my last video, as much as anyone else. So I need to document my emotions at this time so that I can process them as things start to improve, if they start to improve. If I turn around in 12 months' time and see that I'm pain-free and watch this, I'll remember where I was. I'll remember the pain. I'll remember how far I've come. So it's important to me to document all of this. And it's also important to me to document it because other people go through this. I know I'm not alone in chronic pain. I know that. I'm not stupid. That doesn't mean that my chronic pain's less or more or worse or better than anyone else's. We've all got our own journeys to take, and some people can handle a lot more than I can, and bravo to them, but that doesn't mean they should have to. That doesn't mean anyone should have to, but some of us do have to, and for those of us, we just need to do what we can, and that's why I'm going for weight loss surgery. That's why I'm taking what some call the easy way out. Although what's easy about having your stomach cut literally into a tiny little cup, I'm not sure, but you know, there are some people that are going to think that, and there are things I'm going to miss, and that's one of my other fears. Am I going to miss them so much that I come back to them? You know, I'm trying to do a bit of a farewell tour at the moment where I have one bad thing every day. Well, maybe not every day, but you know, every couple of days I'll have one of the bad foods that we're not supposed to have, either take out or chocolate or some of the lollies that, you know, I don't mind. And these are things that I don't have all the time, but that I want to experience one more time before I can't. And there's a fear that can't is going to become shouldn't at some point. And that's not fear, sorry. That's a knowledge. That will definitely happen. For me, the fear is that at that point, I might not have the strength to resist. Especially if my family don't, you know. And they don't need to. They can eat what they like and the weight falls off because they do so much exercise and they don't have so much excess weight that it is a problem. They don't have their hormones battling against them when it comes to losing weight. I worry that my daughter will eventually, but for the moment, she doesn't. And that's part of the reason why I want to make sure that I'm eating healthy so that I can show her what an actual healthy diet is. But those temptations, they've always been there for me. So are they still going to be there? And am I going to fold? That's a fear. It's a fear I don't know how I'll deal with until I get there. I'm hoping the fact that it's a fear now means that it's something I'm giving thought to, and thought becomes practice. So I'm hoping that, you know, by the time I get there, I'll have internalized it all enough that it won't be a massive drama. But who knows? You know, there's no guarantees in this life. So you sort of have to take it and roll with the punches as they come. I think those are my main fears for weight loss surgery. I mean, I fear wasting the money, but that comes back to those other two things. I fear what life will be like afterwards. Surprisingly, I don't have a lot of the fears that I know some people do. Hair loss, I shaved it so that I didn't have to worry about that. If I need to, I'll go shorter again. It's just hair. It'll eventually grow back, and if it doesn't, there's wigs. You know, it's not a vanity thing for me. I don't have an attachment to my hair, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong if you do. I just don't. I never have. And it's not the loose skin. Heck, I've already got loose skin. I had a baby. That's one of the ways to get the most amount of loose skin. So yeah, it's going to suck. And yeah, I probably will eventually, if I can get down to a good weight, look at different plastic surgery options to fix that. But it's not my biggest fear. Like, it's something I can deal with and I can cope with. At least I say that now. So whether that's the case later on, I don't know. You know, this is all pre-surgery, pre-final discussion with the surgeon. conversation. So it's all based on watching a lot of videos about bariatric surgery and getting a sleeve and the R&Y. So it's just conjecture. Conjecture from outside of the situation is hard to justify. You know, you don't really know how you're going to react in any situation until you're there. So I can have plans and I can make decisions and I can try and imagine what things will be like, but I'm not there yet, so I don't know how I will react. I assume that hair loss is not going to be a fear for me, but once it starts falling out, maybe it will be. So things like that, you know, it's hard to walk a mile in someone else's shoes or even your own shoes when it's not your current situation. So that's something else that I'm trying to keep in mind and consider as I go through with the rest of the journey. And it is a journey that I'm going on. I've got an appointment with the doctor or the surgeon on the 25th of this month to discuss the final situation. And then on the 25th of July, my surgery is already booked and I'm booked into the hospital and everything. So this is literally the start of my journey. And that's why I'm tying it to the start of my YouTube channel. And, or not really the start, the channel's been there for ages, but it's only had one thing on it. The start of me being on camera on the YouTube channel. So, you know, I can document my changes and I can look back on it and other people can look on it and other people can hopefully be inspired by it or disgusted by it or whatever you want to feel about it. You know, that's your decision, your choice. I'm just making mine and I'm just trying to make the best ones that I can for myself, for my family, for my future. So yeah, that's pretty much my fears. And like I said, the biggest one of all of them, that I just won't keep it off. And that is a big part of the reason why I started this YouTube channel. After all, who can you count on to tell you that you're getting fat again, if not strangers on the internet? They'll be more brutally honest to you than any of your family ever will be. So I'm counting on you to kick my butt. Yeah, until next time.